All right, guys, as most of you know, I have a daughter. She's now 7 months. She's been a big setback for making a business, man. It's hard. You know, I do have a day job. So my company gave me off quite a bit of time. And right now I'm watching her all day long until my wife takes over. So she gets up 7:30 and I go until about 5, or sometimes it's late, 6:30 today. I got to go get food because we don't have time to make food. So from 7 until 10:30 is when I go to work, and I have to go to bed early. It used to be 3 a.m., but I'm exhausted all day. Anyway, so I got my laser cutter. It just came to my front door. I got to go take a look at it and get it in. I won't have time to build it. That'll help me make a bunch of parts. But this video, I just want to go over just some stuff. You know, with all that work I got to do, I used to work a lot, but I get people that write me all the time that, you know, essentially want everything in life for free. So I had a company, I'll go through maybe like 5 examples here, but I had a company just a couple days ago that said we're a video game company. I looked them up, but it only looks like a guy, or maybe he has one other employee or something, but it says, yeah, I'm a video game company. I saw what you're doing. I've been trying to talk to some brands to convince them to license their name for a virtual pinball game or multiple pinball games. And then, you know, I saw your software and I was curious if you want to do business. We need some more custom work done, and we would need this ported to like Nintendo Switch and PlayStation. And I'm thinking, okay, so where do I fit into this, where you actually do work and I don't do 100% of the work and you take profits from it? You know what I'm saying? So my software, you see, does make virtual pinball games. So what other work is there to do? I've already done it all. So you want to take my software, you want me to do more work, port it to other platforms, and then at the end of the day, you want to slap your name on it and take what? What are you going to give me for that? 90% of the profits? You're going to do, say, 50-50? I mean, how lucky am I to, you know, have you in my life to, you know, use my work to your advantage and make money off of me? I had another guy a few months back. You know, I get a lot of people that email me that say, they write like, yeah, I want to do manufacturing with your software. And I tell them, you know, I've been at this, 6 years. 4 years of that was actual active time on and off. And it's a lot of endless nights. And I still maybe got 2 to 5 more years before I can actually be at a spot where I can mass produce and manufacture my own games, get my name out there as a designer and everything. But some people write me, and usually I just tell them, hey man, I can't do that. I can't make your name as a designer. I can't have you do nothing, and I spent all this time, and I still have a ton more time to get it working, and you just get a pinball company, or you make millions of dollars. And usually people respect that and get it. I had a guy, though, about 6 months ago or so that wrote me. He said, yeah, I don't like coding, and I've seen this other software out there, but it's kind of difficult. So I told him on the forums or whatever, I said, hey, I have this software if you're interested. He said he was doing a homebrew, and I said, yeah, you don't have to code. You just use the drag and drop system. I mean, I made other games, I replicated other games in this already as demos. You can make a professional game out of it. He said, that's awesome. He bought my software, and then I said I would give him one of the updated versions that was going to release in a day or two. And during that time, he starts talking to me and says, oh yeah, I want to be mass producing games, make I don't know how many a year, but when you say mass produce, you're talking about a lot of games. And then he said, yeah, I saw, that's cool that your stuff, I don't have to learn how to code. I can take a shortcut because I don't know how to program at all. And I said, well, sorry, dude. I refunded him $50 and said, hey, I refunded you your $50. I've been at this a long time. I can't give you shortcuts, and I can't spawn up other competitors to use my means to make them, super rich, and now they're competing with my customer base and everything. It just doesn't make sense for all that work. I mean, the guy doesn't even want to program. He doesn't want to lift a finger or get his hands dirty. So I wrote that and just said, here's a refund. And then his response, I'll post it, but it was along the lines of, you're a selfish asshole. Life is, short. You shouldn't act that way or whatever. Just stuff like that. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, I'm not here to make you rich. I'm not here to make everybody else pinball companies. A lot of people that have been following me for 6 years now know I've been putting in a lot of work. I just sent a customer a Facebook message. I said, hey, it came up because 4 years ago I was talking about this guy that makes comic books, and that was back when my software was shit. I didn't even have the software. I didn't have like really anything, and I was quoting the guy and talking about doing a custom game, but he said, wow, you know, your stuff's come a long way in that time. And it's like, yeah, because I put in a ton of time into my stuff. So anyway, yeah, people are crazy. That's 2 examples. I had another guy the other day. He said he was interested in my software. It looks great and everything. He wanted to play around with it. But then I said it's $50 to get in on the early access. And this guy has a Pinside account for over 10 years. Like, this is an adult guy. And he says, well, what do you mean? I'm not going to pay you $50 for software that's not complete. And I'm like, well, you know, it's $50 for the design software, you know, all the manufacturing stuff and whatnot. You know, that's additional money and stuff, but $50 you get the software. And he's like, he wrote me back that, like, you know, I'm a multimillionaire. I've sold 2 software companies for millions of dollars. I've never heard of people selling early access software. You know, $50, I'd pay $500 for your software, but, you know, if it works, like, you've shown 0 evidence of it working. All your videos show that, you know, it could crash, it could just not work. And I'm just like, dude, it's $50. Like, I mean, there's guys at Taco Bell that have bought my software and supported me. It's what it is, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm not on this earth, like, to make you happy. I don't know, man. People they're crazy, dude. I've had another guy called me that was like, you know, there's a well-known chain in America that sells products. They have, I don't know, if 100 stores, 200, whatever. And this guy wanted to put a game and route it in there and collect quarters. I don't know if he's going to put a Foo Fighters game or what. And he said, well, you know, that one time I talked to you, I thought maybe, you know, it'd be cool to actually make a custom themed game specifically for that, you know, company. And then you know, it'd be named and licensed after their actual, you know, store. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, I could do it, you know, whatever. I mean, that's what my custom shop's for. I build one-offs and whatever. But then it turned into like, well, I could probably convince the company, if that worked out, that, you know, you build like, you know, a game for every single one of their stores. And it's not even arcade related. I don't know why they would do this, but he's thinking about, you know, how can I scale this idea that I have using you as a vessel and doing business deals and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know, man. People, and this guy's older, you know. It's like, so what have you done? You know, if you love pinball that much, you need to build your own company. If you've been a pinball player for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, guys, I was into pinball for literally like 2 weeks, and I decided to make a pinball company because I was like, wait, I know software really well. I know what it takes. These prices kind of they're just all over the place. I hear how long it takes to make a game, and I completely disagree with what everybody else is saying. So I'm a pretty unique guy in pinball, and if I do what I said I was going to do, which is make some really good games for really cheap prices, we're still looking at $4,000 or less. I might even be able to bring a game to market for $2,600 that's like built a little different and cheaper, and still do pretty good. But yeah, I'm a unique guy, and I have the means right now to do something completely different in the market. And I'm not here to make everybody else money. You know, my time is limited. I have a day job, and now I have a daughter, and I gotta go and do that work. So another example, some of you that have been around, there was a company called Pinball Adventures. I don't know what their deal is, how many games they've sold. They've been around for a while. They wrote me once and said, hey, you know, we saw that you have a software to build homebrew games and design them, and you have your circuit boards and stuff. Maybe we could collaborate or get access to that software, and we could use that software and sell our circuit boards to our customers. And it's like, so where do you get your feet wet? Where do you use your hands to do the work? And they even said in the email that they didn't have a means to do it. So where's the collaboration? Where is the mutual benefit of money that, you know, again, you just want to take you literally say it in the same thing. We want to sell our circuit boards instead of you selling your circuit boards, and we make basically all the money. If I did all the work for what I'm doing, I should be getting 100% of the money and 100% of the profits. And I will. You know, a mutual partnership would be if somebody wrote me, or if I wrote Scott Denisi and said, hey man, you have a name in pinball as a designer, I'm gonna pay you to design a game, and I know you don't have the means and you don't have $1 million right now to go make a pinball company, so I'll go and do it, and you'll make money according to what work you do. that's a mutual business agreement. Anyway, I'm picking up food. My time's limited. Stuff is coming. I'm very excited. Well, God, tomorrow, I got a wire harness ready to plug into a homebrew game for the Batcave guys, and we'll do some video stuff. You'll see that maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Within the next couple of days, you'll see some cool stuff. And then I got another homebrew that's going out next week too. And from there, the business is just going to keep growing. You're going to see for every homebrew game I get, it's basically like shipping another game. If those games work, that's another game that says Adam Pulaski has a game that's a pinball game that works. So before I launch my company, there could be 50 games out there running on my platform. So when I go to, you know, sell games for $4,000 that are really badass, you're going to say, wow, well, we know his stuff works. And this game has a lot of cool gameplay features. And man, it's only $4,000. You're going to have to buy it. So anyway, see you guys. Appreciate it.